The boundary equation that transforms every relationship. Why do you feel so drained after spending time with certain people? Why do some conversations leave you lighter, energized, and seen, but others leave you exhausted, resentful, and doubting yourself? Here's the truth nobody told you. Your soul is sending you a message. It's whispering that it's time to set a boundary. Now your brain might jump in with, boundaries are mean, boundaries are selfish, boundaries are rude. But that's the biggest lie you've been sold. Boundaries are not about keeping people out. They're about teaching people how to treat you. And here's the kicker. There's a simple psychological equation almost everyone gets wrong. Once you understand it, every single relationship in your life, friendships, family, romance, work, transforms almost overnight. So stay with me, because by the end of this, you won't just understand boundaries, you'll know exactly how to set them and live by them. Comment, energy drain, if you've got at least one person in your life who leaves you feeling wiped out after every interaction. Part 1. The boundary misconception. Here's the first truth bomb. Boundaries are not walls, they're gates. A wall blocks everything. A gate lets the right things in and keeps the wrong things out. But chances are, you grew up believing boundaries are bad. Why? Because you were taught to be polite, to be agreeable, to not rock the boat. So you say yes when you want to say no. You take the extra work. You answer the late night calls. You give in to the guilt. And what happens? Your stress goes up. Your energy goes down. And worst of all, you start to resent the very people you're trying to please. That's the hidden cost of people pleasing. Without boundaries, even good relationships eventually turn toxic. Every time someone crosses your line and you stay quiet, you're training them that your needs don't matter. Think of it like training in reverse. Instead of training them to respect you, you're training them to ignore you. Example, maybe you've got that friend who calls you late at night, unloads all their problems, and then hangs up feeling better, while you're left stressed and unable to sleep. Imagine instead you say, I need to sleep. I can talk tomorrow, but not past 10 p.m. Most of the time, the answer will simply be, fair enough. No fight, no drama. Remember, boundaries don't push people away. They show people how to stay. Comment with one situation where you keep saying yes when you want to say no. Part 2. The boundary equation. Here's the equation that can change everything. Respect equals boundaries times consistency. Think about it. Boundaries. A boundary without enforcement is just a suggestion. And people don't respect suggestions. They test them. They push. They see how serious you really are. Consistency. Enforce a boundary once and someone might call you difficult. Enforce it every time and suddenly you're not difficult, you're clear. Multiply clear boundaries by consistent enforcement and people start treating you differently. Not because you've turned mean, not because you're cold, but because clarity creates respect. The psychology behind it. People don't actually want you to have no boundaries. That makes them anxious. What they want is to know where they stand. Boundaries don't just protect you, they create safety for everyone. Think about it. Isn't it easier to relax in a relationship when you know exactly what's acceptable and what's not? Remember, respect is not given. It's created by clarity and consistency. Comment consistency if you've ever set a boundary, only to break it later because you felt guilty. Part 3. The 3-tier boundary system. Here's how to actually put this into practice. There are 3 types of boundaries you need in your life. 1. The non-negotiables. These are your must-haves, the lines nobody gets to cross. Maybe for you it's no work calls after 8 p.m, no lending money to friends, no gossip about family at work. If you don't define them, others will. 2. The flexibility zone. These are situational boundaries. Sometimes you bend them, but only for the right reasons and the right people. For example, staying late at work for a true emergency, helping a close friend move house, but not every weekend. Flexibility is fine, as long as it's intentional, not automatic. 3. The warning system. These are the early red flags. Maybe someone jokes about you always being available, Maybe someone laughs off your no. Those aren't harmless, they're signals. Here's the phrase that changes everything. No, I can't commit to that right now. Notice what's missing. No justification, no explanation, no apology. No is a complete sentence. Remember, boundaries don't need excuses, they need clarity. Type your number one non-negotiable in the comments. Part 4, the boundary transformation. Let's see what this looks like in real life. Scenario 1, work old version. Sure, I'll work late again, no problem. New version. I won't be available after 6 p.m., but I can prioritize this first thing tomorrow. Result? You're not difficult. You're professional and clear. Scenario 2, friends, old version. I guess I can cancel my plans to help you move. Again. New version. I can't help with the move, but I know a great moving company. Result? You're not abandoning them. You're helping in a way that respects your time. Scenario 3, family, old version. Fine, I'll listen to you complain about the same problem again. New version. We've talked about this a few times. What action are you planning to take? Result? You're not rejecting them. You're inviting them to grow. Remember, clarity is kindness. Comment, clarity, if you can see how these small shifts could change the energy in your relationships. Part 5, the relationship revolution. Here's the truth. When you master boundaries, your relationships don't fall apart. They get real. The people who respect your boundaries, they're the ones worth keeping. The ones who resist, they show you who they truly are. Think of yourself as a country. Strong borders don't isolate you. They protect your sovereignty. Weak borders invite invasion. Strong borders invite respect. That's what your boundaries do for you. Boundaries aren't selfish. They're self-respect in action. When you protect your energy, you don't just win back your life, you show up better for the people who matter. So here's your challenge. Write down your top 3 non-negotiables. Practice saying them out loud. Enforce them once this week. Remember, every boundary you set is a vote for the life you want to live. Comment sovereignty if you're ready to start living as the ruler of your own life. Now it's up to you. If you're tired of feeling drained, resentful, or overlooked, this is the moment to step up. Every time you say yes when you want to say no, you're not just betraying yourself. You're teaching the world to undervalue you. But when you set clear boundaries and enforce them consistently, something incredible happens. You gain respect, you gain clarity, you gain energy. So what's one boundary you need to set but haven't yet? Drop it in the comments. Saying it out loud is the first step to claiming it. Remember, you don't lose people when you set boundaries. You lose the ones who were only there because you had none. Choose sovereignty. Choose clarity. Choose you. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch my video. I really appreciate your support. Your time means a lot to me. If you enjoyed it, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and join this growing community. I look forward to sharing more with you soon.